What's up, figure freaks? Welcome back to the channel, doing another action figure review. Today we are doing the Ringside Collectibles Unsanctioned Classic Superstars Road Warriors in the red. And I did get the Chase set as well, which is in the gray, but I put that shit away. This is just the shipper box. It's brown. That's about it. We're gonna get in deep. Okay. Plastic here. All right, out of that box, out of the plastic, we got the awesome looking box here. Road Warriors, Animal, and Hawk. We got their accessories. We do have hands down in the corner there, but we can't see exactly what's going on. We'll get to those later. And then we got the figures. Looks like we got the shoulder pads there. Looks very similar from the Mattels. I can tell right now those spikes are something different, I think. Kind of looks like they almost took a little chapter out of the Mattel playbook, as well as the jazwares with the AEW. Just the way the joints and the limbs are being put together. But we'll see more about that. We do have the alt heads. You got the Hawk with the tongue out. What a rush! That's a must have or a must pose with. That is the head that you gotta pose with. Here's one, he's looking pretty doughy. You got Animal. Joe Laurinaitis, looking pretty badass right there. And then we get the gritting teeth alt head. I think that's pretty much all we got in here. And yeah, this is made by Ringside Collectible Toys. I don't know if this is the first shot of them doing this, but I believe it is. So we'll see. I mean, they're working with Mattel and Jazwares, so they gotta be learning something. We got a nice little action pose here. Animal and Hawk. We got their stats. Animal was 6'2", 305 pounds. Hawk was 6'3", 270 pounds. Damn. So, Animal, a little thicker. Hawk, a little taller. We got the write-up up here. The Road Warriors, also known as the Legion of Doom, were iconic professional wrestlers known for their intimidating presence, face paint, and spike shoulder pads. Animal and Hawk dominated the tag team scene in the 1980s and 1990s with their brute strength, intense style, and finishing off opponents with their signature move, the Doomsday Device. What a rush! Alright, out of the packaging, out of the box, let's take a look at the accessories. I got the two alt heads here. Hawk, I put the tongue lashing head on the figure. I just feel like it's gotta be on there, but you know, same stuff, same old reverse mohawk, same makeup, just kind of plain Jane looking there. Not a bad sculpt though. Looks a little waxy. Then we got Animal. I feel like I've seen this head almost every time on every figure. Like it's kind of gritty teeth with the makeup and the spider on the forehead. Yeah. So I'm not gonna put that one on the figure. I'm just gonna have this one with a stiff lower lip there. Seems like I've seen him with that kind of expression. And then of course, what a rush. I'll never stop saying that, but got the tongue out there. Pretty nice. And as far as hands, we got kind of, it's not a C-grip hand, but maybe it's like a belt holding hand, perhaps. Then we got the two fists. And then the open hand or slappy hand. Now Hawk's pretty much got the same thing. Slappy hand, two open hands, like sea grippers, because I did put one of the fists on the figure. And then the other fist right here. The shoulder pads, I think, are pretty close to what the metallics look like. Maybe a little bit less decoration and detail, but it seems like they're pretty much kind of the same. I think the spikes are different. I think we're getting more spikes with these ones, but definitely the detail is better. I love how they got these silver metal on the rings here for the laces. Really nice detail there. We go around the back, we got the straps. Some other spikes. So pretty damn nice. And I think they basically have identical shoulder pads. Yes, that's right. The paint's not bad. The engineering is horseshit, and I'll show you why in a second. So the paint's not bad. If you look at his head, pretty nice there with the spider and that face makeup. I wasn't kidding when I said they're taking a page out of the old Jazwares playbook, because this is basically Jazwares. I just don't think they're gonna put it on the box, but look at that. And then boom, see that ball joint up there? Just a hole right there. Do it again, boom. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say these were made by Jazwares, probably to strike a little deal with Ringside, and Ringside took the credit. I don't really know, to be honest. Maybe I shouldn't be talking that shit, but that's what it seems like and feels like to me. Their arms are a little bit on the small side, I'll have to say too. Now, this is the big problem here. We're gonna take it off this guy, come on. Really horseshit. Watch this. See that? Oh, he's standing there now. Oh. So, okay, look at that. Super loose. That's shitty. So, these ball joints are not big enough to fill in this hole, maybe. And you just don't have enough in the sculpt to kind of get in the way, but both the waist and the torso on Hawk here are super loose. So, not great, I would say, in my opinion. Articulation wise, we'll go through that now. Not much of there. You can go around, and it seems like when you do this, the head's always kind of threatening to pop off, so it's coming up pretty easily now. Very small ball on there, small hole. Seems like it should be on there tighter, but it's not. It's very loosey-goosey, almost as bad as this. Shoulders go up about like that. Twist round and round. We got the double jointed elbows, pinless of course, and then we got the pivot on the palm going back, and the twist also very loose. Look at this. So, I'm really trying not to nitpick, but that's how it goes. We do have the diaphragm swivel. as well as the waist swivel. Now, he doesn't twist really because, as you know, and if you do get AEW figures, well, you twist it this way, you can't twist the waist, not like you do with Elites. It just pops right off. So, same thing with this, you know, like, it's just, I don't know, man. Look at that, it just comes right off. So, not the best engineering articulation, I would say. Everything feels super janky. Either it's like really ratchety or it's loose as fuck. At least on Hawk. Animal seems like he's in better shape. Look at this now. Now these will pop off too. Look at this. Can't even do the splits and it will come off. Look at that. Bam. So it's all ball joints, guys. Look at that. That shit just came right off. I didn't even do anything. Just popped right off. Look at that shit. I think they are double jointed knees. Let's see if we can remove this or move this around. Looks like there are no pins, but you can't really move it too much. There is a boot cut. You got the buckles there. You got a pair of buckles. Nice little gunmetal there for the buckles and the black straps. Not bad. On the ankles, you do have tilt. You do have pivot. So, I don't know what to say, guys. Not a total disgrace, at least for Animal, but Hawk is, like, I don't know. Can I say that I regret buying these guys? The best part, I would say, is the shoulder pads and probably this head with the tongue out. It's, you know, it's awesome. But these figures, I'm going to say it, they're shitty. They're shitty ass figures. And, you know, maybe Ringside will get it right one of these days, but the first go around, they did not. They just didn't. It's very much the same engineering as Jazwares, as the AEW figures. It's got to be. The plastic looks like it, like the arms are different shades and the chest. They did get, like, you know, that Hawk is a little taller and Animal is a bit thicker. They got that down. But, I mean, the plastic, like, this shit down here is kind of a different shade than this. And the arms are a bit different, too. Not too bad with the tattoos there. I didn't even know Animal had tattoos. But, yeah. These guys are getting a low rating. I'm not happy that I got these figures. And, you know, I paid for these, and I also got the Chase, and the gray Chase ones, they will stay in their box forever and ever. Yeah, I'm gonna give these guys I don't know, there are some good parts to it, but it's just they look and they feel cheap. Yeah, they just look and feel cheap. I do kind of like how they got red knee pads for Animal and black for Hawk. The shoulder pads are cool. The face sculpts are nice, but the arms, the upper torso, the legs, the knees, they're not good. Not good at all. Let's check out the height. So yeah, it's gonna be a 5.5, which is pretty much garbage in my eyes. Let's see here. We got about 6 6/8 on Animal, and we got about the same. Yeah, Animal's got that mohawk, and Hawk's kind of got a bald head. So yeah, about 6 6/8 for both. Man. Well, you win some, you lose some. I would like to hear anyone else that got these figures and tell me what their opinion is. Yeah, I'm gonna straight up say it's shitty. These figures blow big fat donkey dicks in hell. So there you go. I'm not happy with it. It's just somewhat of a travesty. I was looking so forward to these, and these are actual like Road Warriors. And I don't have a Road Warriors. I have a pair of Legion of Doom figures, and I will say that they are far superior to these, even though these guys are newer and pinless and all that stuff. But Ringside, you keep making these figures, you're gonna have to do better. You're gonna have to do a lot better. So yeah, I mean, the paint's not bad overall. Tattoos, face paint, pretty nice. All right, let's bring in the Legion of Doom. These guys, now you can tell the difference here. As I said, there's that gritted teeth animal. Shoulder pads are very much alike in the red color, but I do like how they have the black around here for the collar, and underneath here it's just more realistic, I would say, on these new Ringside ones. But and no knee pads, but you do got these gauntlets there on their wrists, which are pretty badass. Not as much detailed on the shoulder pads, but like, look at the boots. You know, you got a couple straps there. Here you got 4. The gunmetal buckles. It looks really nice, looks tight, and these figures are like 15 years old. You know, still great face paint. And then on the back here, you got that long kind of mohawk extension, almost like a rat's tail or something. And you don't got that on the new Ringside versions. So, and this is the Legion of Doom. So I actually still prefer these. I might swap the shoulder pads and put these shoulder pads over here and then these shoulder pads, and give these guys the better shoulder pads. I just might do it, you know. These will be displayed, but they might have to take a back seat to these guys, you know. I much more enjoy these figures. They're just better made. They are older. I do like the Legion of Doom there on the belt. That's pretty wicked. We'll bring in the basics, the ones in blue. Pretty much the same head sculpts here. But the basics, again, they got the distinction between their body types, you know. Animal is much thicker. Hawk is taller. They're both shredded, but one guy is just bulk, the other one's just totally ripped up. Let's bring in Paul Ellering, the Build-A-Figure, and Rocco. Hey, what do you say? He's got his bat. Pretty Paul Ellering. I don't know. This was a Build-A-Figure, and I thought we were getting a full-on Build-A-Figure, but we got this, so there's no stomach crunch. So they kind of took a little shortcuts there, but still, not a bad-looking figure. I love having a Paul Ellering. There is an alternate head. I think it's the older, balder, or bald Paul Ellering. Let's put these guys off to the side real quick, and we're going to bring in some other guys, some guys that they wrestled against, some guys they might have had some rivalries with. So Road Warriors were WCW, and then they went to WWE and became the Legion of Doom. But back in WCW, they wrestled a lot of guys. Let's bring another tag team in here. They were known as the Blade Runners, but this is a little further down the line. We got the Dengue Warrior, who becomes Ultimate Warrior. I actually really like this figure. Nice looking. So, just wanted to compare them. They do also, we're a tag team that had the face paint. Here's our the Surfer Sting. Love this figure. Love this bright green. And then like the green boots. Just really nice deco. We got the Scorpion there on the side. Got the belt, the WCW belt. So, Sting and Warrior. Of course, they went up against the Four Horsemen. So we got Ric Flair here holding up that four. His four fingers. Woo! Yes, sir. Styling and profiling. Then let's get, what was it? I think it was the Twin Towers with Mean Mark Callis, also known as The Undertaker, and Sid, Big Sid. And then I think Mark Callis leaves, and I think they were the Towers of Power, and then it was Dan Spivey that links up with Sid, and they were the Skyscrapers. Now, Sid, I think, is technically taller than Undertaker. Doesn't look like that here. I thought it was always the perception that Undertaker was super tall, but I think Sid was a bit taller, like 6'10", and Taker was like 6'9". And even Kevin Nash was almost like 7 feet back in the day, and I think Kevin Nash was the biggest one except for Big Show. Another big rivalry they had was the Powers of Pain, and we don't have a Barbarian figure, which is stupid. I wish they'd give us a Powers of Pain 2-pack or a Faces of Fear 2-pack, which is Barbarian and Mang, also known as Haku, the Tongan boys. But this is Warlord. He really loved his steroids. And this is a great figure. This is kind of an older figure. And we got pinless elbows here. And this guy's probably close to 5 years old. More face makeup. This guy, yeah, really did like his steroids. And there's a story, and I think it was said by, I think, either Nash or Scott Hall that they're in the locker room, and it was Shawn Michaels and Perfect, Kurt Hennig, and Warlord here was like, hey, can you help me out and give me a boost? And he wanted a steroid shot in his ass. And so Perfect was like, okay, and stuck the needle in his butt and tried to hit the plunger, but the plunger wouldn't budge. And I guess stuff started burbling out of his butt cheeks. And Mr. Perfect said something to the effect of, hey, brother, I think you're full. Like, he's filling up his gas tank, but it's steroids. Like, how does that happen? But he also, too, has this reverse mohawk, but it's like half black and half natural hair color. Like, I love this figure. And I kind of like Warlord in all his huge roided out glory. But yeah, so I think the most fun I've had was kind of revisiting some of these old figures. And I'll bring this guy in just because I just bought him. We got the model Rick Martel. Classic superstars from Jack's Pacific. So just to get that guy in there, give him a chance. But these guys, very disappointed. I don't mean to call them garbage. Just, first kind of look at them, I was like, ugh. This guy is just like flops back so easily. Look at that shit. If he's just standing there, it's not going to do it. But you pick him up, you maybe rattle him a little bit, move him like so he's kind of leaning towards his back. That thing's just going to flip. So I just wonder what these figures are going to look like, a year from now. We're going to get paint chips. Or things going to start wearing off? Is everything going to get all loosey and shitty? So 5.5 out of 10, which is pretty horseshit. They may not deserve that rating from me or from anybody else, but that's what I'm doing. I'm sticking to it. I'm disappointed. Don't like them. I knew that maybe they weren't going to be great, but I didn't think they'd be this bad. So, I mean, there's some good, there's some bad, but the little amount of bad just bothers me. So 5.5, you guys got condemned, Road Warriors. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it, guys. So be cautious out there. Check out the shit that you're buying. Be wary. Be careful. Pay attention to detail. Ringside, you got me. You got me good, It was a mail away. Nobody got to see these figures firsthand. You just ordered them and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and then you get them. And you want to cry, but I'm not going to cry. I'm just going to give them a bad review. So there you have it, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Looks like we're doing Gamer First, Omega Red, War Machine, some Joes. I did pick up the new Monday Night War figures for the Michael Cole Build-A-Figure. This guy is coming up because I do love Brian Pillman. And this looks like a great effing figure. So he'll be coming up sooner than later. I also picked up this guy because I didn't want Tiger to be all by himself, so I got a Lionel at Target. So he'll be coming up as well. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Hey, what do you say about these figures, eh? What a bunch of horseshit!